I'm Joanne, the Devoted Bookworm. Today I'm talking about P.S. I Still Love You by Jenny Han. The first part of the review will be spoiler-free, and then I will give you a warning before any of the spoilers start. This is the second book in a trilogy, and so there will be spoilers for the first book, To All the Boys I've Loved Before, just because this is a continuation of that story. So heads up. In the first book, Laura Jean has a box full of letters that she's written to boys that she's had crushes on or been in love with before, and she hides them away. But then one day she finds out that somehow all of the letters got mailed out to the boys. So embarrassing. As if that's not enough, one of the letters was to her sister's ex-boyfriend, Josh. Now, to prove that she's not still in love with Josh, she starts a fake relationship with Peter, who just broke up with his girlfriend, Jen, and he's trying to make her jealous. As she and Peter start spending time together, they, of course, start having real feelings towards each other. So now we get to P.S. I Still Love You. They were just pretending before, but now Laura Jean and Peter are in a real relationship and trying to figure out what that looks like for them. The back of the book says, but when another boy from her past returns to her life, Laura Jean's feelings for him suddenly return too. Can a girl be in love with two boys at once? I don't think that's how I would have written the summary on the back of the book. I think there are other bigger issues in the story, but like I said, no spoilers for now. I thought this was a fun, cute book, and there are a lot of things that I liked. I like that Laura Jean has her own style and has her own things that she likes to do. She likes to craft and bake and hang out at home. As a homebody myself, I can relate to that. She likes unique things. She's not trying to be like everyone else at school, and she's unapologetic about that. I also like seeing Peter do little things to show her that she's important to him. It's nice to see their relationship become more real, and we get to see that having a boyfriend doesn't mean that everything's gonna be perfect and you're not always gonna be happy all the time. There were definitely parts in this story that left me frustrated with the characters, though. Initially, I was upset about how the book ended, but as I've thought about it since then, I've come to realize that it was a realistic ending, and I've decided that I'm okay with it. In all, I enjoyed the book and the movie adaptation. Now, if you haven't read the book, it's time to make a decision. You can stop this video, go read the book, and then come back and finish the video, or you can just go ahead and watch the whole video and soak in those spoilers. I know I'm pretty mesmerizing, so it's a difficult decision to make. You've been warned. Initially, I was upset that she ended up with Peter. Looking at their relationship from the outside, it's easy to say she's so stupid to get back together with him, especially with the perfect John Ambrose McLaren there waiting for her. But she was still in love with Peter. When you break up with somebody, you just don't immediately stop loving them the second that you break up. That being said, it took me a while to come to this conclusion, because not only was John Ambrose sweet and thoughtful and interested, but I was mad at Peter. He keeps spending time with Jen, even though he knows it is gonna upset Laura Jean. I mean, he's almost hiding that he's hanging out with her by not saying anything unless he gets caught, and then he still doesn't offer an explanation. And then he just blows it off like it's no big deal. And then when he finds out that Jen was behind the Instagram video, he didn't say anything, even though he knew it was a big deal to Laura Jean. Then, when they broke up, he asked for the necklace back. You don't ask for a gift back? Are you kidding me? If he had communicated better with Laura Jean, I think it would have saved them both a lot of heartache. But Laura Jean is not innocent in all of this. She could have communicated better as well. I had the urge more than once to just yell into the book, "Just talk about it already!" Then we have John Ambrose McLaren. He was a perfect gentleman. He was fun and thoughtful. He listened and he seemed to understand Lara Jean. I love that they reconnected as pen pals because it brought the letters back into the story. I love getting mail. When somebody spends the time to write a letter and send it in the mail, it feels really special. I'm sure if we got to know John Ambrose, we'd start to see his flaws as well. So, are you Team Peter? Or are you Team John Ambrose? Or are you Team neither? Because just because she has two boys interested in her doesn't mean that she has to choose either of them. So in the end, I understand why Lara Jean decided to get back together with Peter. I feel like the end of the book happened too quickly. Did Lara Jean and Peter talk about their issues and problems? Did they figure out ways that they're gonna work through things and do things differently in the future? Or are they going to just end up in the same place again in a month or two? Because I can't feel confident in this rekindled relationship if everything's just swept under the carpet and nothing changes. I really like to read a book and then watch the movie adaptation of it. Do you like to read the book first, or would you rather watch the movie first? There were a lot of similarities between the book and the movie, but of course there were some differences as well. In the book, there was a bigger focus on the Instagram video. In the movie, they just mentioned it a couple of times, which I kind of appreciated because I didn't really want to watch the video over and over again. So I think I liked that change. I was just talking to my husband the other day about how filmmakers are always changing stories or changing little parts from books that just seem completely unnecessary to change. Like they're just changing it to prove that they can. Or just to say, look, I'm using my creative license and I can change it however I want to, so I'm going to. But I feel like sometimes it's completely unnecessary. In this movie, the thing that they changed that really annoyed me the most was the party that Lara Jean and John Ambrose planned for the retirement center. In the book, they created this World War II USO dance that sounded so fun. I love themed parties like that. I could just imagine myself getting all dressed up in a 1940s dress and my husband getting dressed up in a World War II military uniform. Whew. Looking good. I was so excited to see how the director would portray the party, but instead they changed it for an indoor garden party. I would like to know the reasoning behind that. Sad day. Despite my disappointment about the missing USO dance, I still enjoyed the movie. I preferred the book, but I liked the movie as well. That's a recipe for you. Now I'm probably in a different spot than I was before. Sorry. I love that they reconnected. Excuse me. I don't know if I said that right. Thoughtful and interesting.